Good morning, all. Welcome to the daily morning podcast of SBI Securities. Let us check what happened in the trade yesterday. So, yesterday, despite being an monthly expiry, we saw a massive rise in Sensex and Nifty. So, we have seen Sensex was up to the tune of 372 points and has closed at levels of 72410, whereas Nifty was up by 124 points and settled at levels of 21778 levels. This was purely led by strong buying from foreign institutional investor in the cash market. So we have seen FII buying to the tune of 4,359 crore, whereas DII were buyer to the tune of 137 crore. Yesterday, the key showstopper were public sector enterprise stocks. So PSU stocks were in green yesterday across the boards, whether it is the financing sector, so companies like Hudco, whether it is from oil and gas sector, companies like oil marketing companies, HP, BP, IOC were in focus. So in terms of sectoral gainer, yesterday the key gainer were from oil and gas sector, energy, FMCG, healthcare, pharma, commodity. So yesterday it was a pretty broad-based rally. However, coming to 52-week, coming to the market breadth, what we have seen is that yesterday the market breadth was in favor of bear. So we have seen 2050 stocks closing in red yesterday as compared to 1746 stocks closing in green. So this clearly shows that market texture is now shifting in favor of large cap. The mid cap and small cap is seeing a profit booking or kind of distribution. So despite of market scaling new high, there is the market breadth is in favor of bear. So clearly a sign of profit booking in mid cap, small cap, as well as it's a clear sign of distribution. And that's pretty obvious because we have seen a massive rally during the last 6 to 9 months, and mild profit booking is expected going forward in mid cap and small cap. At the same time, since this market rally is purely led by FII buying, obviously FII are always a buyer in the decent size mid cap or large cap companies. Hence we are seeing a phenomenal interest in large cap as compared to mid cap and small cap. In terms of 52-week high, so yesterday 357 stocks have scaled 52-week high, and 21 stocks were trading at 52-week low. If I see the list of BSE 500 and see the name of the stocks which have scaled 52-week high, so I would like to put forth that list in front of you. At the top was Hindustan Copper, up by 15%. Hudco, Hind Petro, HPCL, Analco, Gillette, SAIL, Engineers India, GSFC, BHEL, KEI, Rainbow, Child, IOC, GSPL, MRF, Punjab National Bank, Coal India, Chambal Fertilizer, Endurance, Quest Corp, L&T Finance, Lupin, Apar, Gale, Colgate, CESC, Sona BLW, Angel One, NMDC, Hero Motocorp, Mahindra and Mahindra, United Breweries, NTPC, Tata Motors, DVR, Persistent, Power Grid, Bharat Forge, HEG, Gujarat Fluoro, GlaxoSmithKline, Nestle, AU Small Finance, Tata Motors, MRPL, Castrol, Tata Consumer, Tata Coffee, Divi's Lab, Hindalco, Britannia, Amara Raja, DLF, Godrej Consumer, Grasim, IndusInd Bank, Titan, Tata Steel, Jubilant Pharmanova, Shyam Metallic, Bank of Baroda, JSW Steel, Intellect Design, Bajaj Auto, Ultratech, Aarti, Kalyan Jeweler. So if you see the list of 52-week high, the majority of the stocks are either from public sector enterprise, and majority of the stocks are from the large cap to decent mid cap sector. So this clearly shows that the market texture is again shifting in the favor of large cap. Moving on to the global market update. So yesterday again it was a kind of flattish to positive day as far as US equity markets are concerned. So all the three benchmark indices are trading close to lifetime high, and it was again a positive day as far as US markets are concerned. As we speak today, GIFT Nifty is indicating kind of flat to positive opening. And in terms of Brent crude oil yesterday was down to the tune of 1% and have settled at levels of $79 to the barrel. Moving on to the key news that are in focus today. The first news is that there is an expectation that government may announce price cut of petrol and diesel to the tune of 10 rupees per liter, and a part of that burden need to be bear by HP oil marketing companies like HPCL, BPCL and IOC. So that's marginally negative for HP, BP and IOC. So we may see some knee-jerk reaction, marginal knee-jerk reaction in oil marketing company. However, this is positive for sectors like auto, logistic companies and cement companies. So we may see some positive reaction in the remaining three sectors. Another key development is from RBI. So yesterday RBI raised a concern that credit to deposit ratio is slightly on a higher side, 80%, and banks need to mobilize more deposit to bring down the credit to deposit ratio on a lower side. And that is the reason we have seen that the increase in deposits rate by SBI and Bank of Baroda, and we are expecting other banks to follow through by increasing the deposit rate. So that can lead to a minor pressure on net interest margin for all the banks, and we may see some adverse reaction in today's trade as far as banking sector is concerned. Another development from RBI. So RBI has given approval to ICICI Prudential AMC and ICICI Prudential Life, wherein they can acquire aggregate holding to the tune of 9.95% in RBL, Federal Bank and Equitas Small Finance Bank. So that's the kind of supportive, positive read through in medium to long term for RBL, Federal Bank and Equitas Small Finance Bank. Moving on to the next development on Tata Coffee and Tata Consumer. So the merger of Tata Coffee and Tata Consumer will be effective from 1st of January 2024, and that's positive in medium to long term for Tata Global shareholders, Tata Consumer shareholders. Moving on to the development on Info Edge, the company will invest 25 crore in Zwayam Digital, a wholly owned subsidiary. That's a small investment and it's a neutral news as far as Info Edge is concerned. Satin Creditcare has entered into the co-lending agreement with the Karnataka Bank, wherein the 80% of the loan will be funded by the bank and 20% will be funded by the Satin Creditcare. That augurs welfare for Satin Creditcare in medium to long term. Vari Energy, they have entered into a collaborative agreement with 5B Maverick Services to accelerate the deployment of utility grade solar power in both domestic and international market. So that's positive for Vari Energy in long term. Moving on to the development on India Shelter Finance, the company has recently listed and they have posted a net profit of 60 crore in Q2, which is up by 67% year over year. So a positive reaction can be seen in India Shelter Finance. Aarti Drugs, the SEBI has sent an administrative warning over the non-disclosure of plant closure in the April 22. That's a marginally negative as far as Aarti Drugs is concerned. Moving on to the IPO corner. So today there is a listing of Innova CapTab. The issue price, IPO price was at around 448 rupees per share, and the issue size was 570 crore rupees. And it's a new listing. So recently we have seen that in the past 7 to 8 listing, only few stocks where the business model are pretty solid. Companies like Inox, company like Happy Forging has seen a listing at a premium to the issue price, whereas majority of the IPOs have disappointed the street by listing either flat or below the IPO price. So now this clearly shows that the bubble which was building around IPO pricing has busted, and we need to be very selective while applying for IPO going forward. Moving on to the institutional activity, Zydus Wellness. So we have seen hand change between one of the fund, wherein one of the fund has offloaded 1.2% stake, and that has been taken by SBI Mutual Fund and Zydus Family Trust. India Bull Housing Finance, we have seen ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund and SBI Mutual Fund exiting, and Matthew Syriac, who is known to be a specialist in identifying turnaround stories, has bought 25 lakh shares in India Bull Housing Finance. Z Entertainment, Plutus Wealth Management has bought 0.63% stake from open market at 270 rupees per share. Azad Engineering, one of the newly listed entities from a defense sector, we have seen Abu Dhabi Investment Authority buying 3.98 lakh shares from open market at 720 rupees per share. Moving on to the insider trading, VIP Industries promoter continue its buying activity. Again, we have seen buying from promoter on 27th of December, and that was disclosed to the exchange yesterday. Iron Exchange, we have seen minor selling by promoter to the tune of 13,000 shares. If I have to sum up today's discussion, overall, it has been a today is the last day, trading day of calendar year 2023, and it has been a pretty strong rally which we have seen in the market since 1st of April. And we may see some kind of profit booking in the second half of the trade today. Overall, global setup seems to be positive. No negative takeaway as far as global markets are concerned. However, after a strong rally, we may see marginal profit booking. And as per the historical data, what we have seen that most of the time January month has been subdued as far as equity markets are concerned. And historically, we have seen that January month has delivered negative 1 to 3% return most of the time. So kind of consolidation we may see as far as equity markets are concerned. Broader data is clearly indicating that market texture is now shifting in favor of large caps. Small cap, mid cap is seeing a profit booking after a humongous rally during the last 8 to 9 months. In terms of sectoral focus, today we may see some negative reaction in oil marketing companies because of the expectation of fuel price cut. At the same time, banking sector may remain under marginal pressure due to the fight between banks to mobilize the deposit. The sector which may remain in limelight today may be auto, cement and logistic, because the cut in the fuel prices may benefit all these companies together. Uh, uh, in addition to that, sectors which are looking good from a medium to long term perspective are real estate, and at the same time stock market intermediaries like broking companies and stock exchanges can be looked upon from a medium to long term perspective. That's all for the day. Thanks for patiently listening to our podcast. Have a good day.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.